So, Andrew, talk to me about Dwayne Haskins. What went wrong? How do we get to this point, and where do we see him moving forward?
Well, I think part of the problem with Dwayne Haskins was, you know what it was? I think the ability was always there. You saw that at Ohio State. And I know a lot of people are going to say, he now joins another member of the Ohio State quarterback alum who just didn't pan out in the NFL. That's one thing people fear about Fields is people were like, these are what Ohio State guys do when they get to the NFL. I think Fields is different, but we're going to find out. I think Fields is cut from a different mold. But onto the Dwayne Haskins thing, dude. I thought he was very immature, as you saw, a week ago. They lost the game. He's out at the strip club with no mask, hours after losing a game and everything like that. That's not
His
something that
second his second COVID violation of the year,
when
not his
when you're a
first.
team trying to make when you're a team trying to make a playoff push and you're in the driver's seat coming off of a loss or something like that. That's not something you want to see from your leader. Remember, they voted him team captain earlier in the year. He was stripped actually after the incident of the captainship. I mean, I think Dwayne Haskins, a lot of it was just a maturity thing. I think a
Yep.
problem was a maturity thing, and he didn't have the right people around him. But at the same time, I don't think he gave himself a chance. A lot of people are going to ask, whether Dwayne Haskins was given a chance. I don't think Dwayne Haskins gave himself a chance, dude. You look at all these people, he's got someone like Alex Smith. Alex Smith is one of the perfect people you can learn from. Think about it. Alex Smith is the guy who is the reason for why Mahomes is who Mahomes. Yeah, Andy Reid, but who was the dude? Who was the quarterback in Kansas City right before? Who basically, he coached this kid up. He taught this kid everything he knows. One from the minute that kid stepped foot in Kansas City, it was Alex Smith. He had the perfect teacher, and I just don't think the kid really had any interest. I think he was one of those, I made it to the NFL. I made it. And I think I can out talent my way once I'm here. And in the NFL, you can't do that, dude. In the NFL, one of the biggest things, Pat McAfee always talks about it with kickers, but it's quarterbacks too, is you can have the talent, but a lot of what's going on between the ears, what's going on up here, is that can dictate how you do. And I just don't think Dwayne Haskins was all there up here. Talent was definitely there. He wasn't all there up here, and you saw what happened, dude.
Well, I mean, when you say he wasn't all there up here, I feel
It was a
like
maturity thing. I felt like it was
yeah,
a
that's
maturity thing.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, and I think you're right about that. I think that at the end of the day, it's one of those things. You can be an ineffective quarterback, right? And like in your first 2 years, especially, you can be ineffective, and the team will still kind of back you. They won't cut you outright. Like we saw that with Blaine Gabbert in Jacksonville. We saw that with Daniel. We've seen that with Daniel Jones, even though he's been playing better in the past few games before he got
Not
injured.
the most talented guy, but he's a guy that Giants
Right.
team and that organization can get
Right.
behind. Yep.
They rally behind. Right. And there's a reason for that, and it's that maturity factor too. Because you can be bad and like early in your career, but when you're bad and you have when you're costing your team potentially games, because we know how important the quarterback position is for the game of football. When the Denver Broncos lost their quarterback, what happened? They had to play with a wide receiver, and it was done before it started. Some argue they never should have played that game, but that's
Who
what
was
happened.
the
And
who the
and
fuck
if
was
and
the they had a wideout. They had a wideout. I think they had a wideout. People were
Hinton,
saying they had a
Hinton,
wide receiver.
Hinton.
No, 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 not the quarterback. They had a wideout, a rookie
No,
wide receiver.
that was him,
Um,
Hinton.
was it the rookie wide receiver?
Yeah, yeah.
One of
Yeah.
them was one of them was sitting there saying he was like, "I will play fucking quarterback for you. I don't care. Just like." And they might do. You know what? They might have done better than
Right.
whoever they
So
put out
so
there.
so yeah. So but with Dwayne Haskins specifically, what went wrong was one, he wasn't playing well, and two, his problem was that not only was he wasn't playing well, he was also becoming a problem off the field, because this wasn't his when he went to the strip club and he had that incident. This wasn't his first COVID violation. This was his second of the season. And when you're putting your team in that position, especially when you know the starting quarterback is injured, when Alex Smith, the guy who they've been relying on for the past 5 games beforehand to win them games, is injured, and you're the only other option really, that's on you. You have to know, okay, I shouldn't be exposing myself, especially now that I'm potentially going to be the starter when we're trying to make a playoff push. Because what does that tell your team about you? That you don't really care about them when they're the ones who are quarantining, when they're the ones, all right, if we weren't, buckling down before, we're doing it now. What happens then is you are basically telling your team that I don't care what you guys want. I don't care what is best for the team. I care more about myself. And again, this isn't a Barry Dwayne Haskins type of thing, right? Because the dude is like he's a kid. He's like I want that to mean no. He's like 23 years old. He's a young guy. He's got a lot of time to make up for this, and I think Dwayne Haskins could get a second shot at the NFL because one thing that he did prove, like, he wasn't able to put it together in Washington, and granted, a lot of that had to do with like that organization is just in shambles. Like Alex Smith is what he's doing actually is just insane. And that defense and Chase Young and all them boys, what they're doing is insane given how inept that organization is. And Ron Rivera also deserves credit for this. But what Dwayne Haskins, he showed that he does have potential. He's got the raw ability to be an NFL quarterback. Whether he's starting or a franchise guy, I'm not sure about anymore. But he does have the talent to be a quarterback, probably a long time backup. And honestly, that's a good career because you get to make money to just sit on the bench, sometimes come in and win games. I think he can be that guy. And who knows, he probably could still be a starter. But at the end of the day, you have to be at least the bare minimum requirement is to put your team above yourself in those types of situations. Don't go out when you know there's a chance for you to get COVID, especially without a mask. Don't go posting on social media like things about your team. Don't do any of that stuff. Don't do that outside stuff. Just let that shit go. Because when you're getting paid millions of dollars to play a kid's game, right? When you're getting paid millions of dollars to play a kid's game, you have to be willing to say, okay, I know what I'm getting myself into. I know what my potential action could cost my team, and you have to think like that and constantly, especially at the quarterback position, because you're the leader. Whether we like it or not, quarterbacks are always going to be the leaders of the team. That's the person you're looking at because, at the end of the day, what do people care about? Who has the ball in their hands? That's at the end of the day. Every single football player, coach, everything. That's all they're really caring about. In that moment when you're watching football, who has the ball in their hands? The eyes on you. All the eyeballs are on you to begin the play, and you have to know how to handle it, and you also have to know how to finish it. Now, unfortunately, Dwayne Haskins at this point in his career did not know how to finish it. But yeah, hopefully he
And
gets
it
another
really
shot.
and it really is a shame. I think it'll be interesting to see if he does get another shot because I mean, just based off of the narratives, dude, people are gonna base him like people are gonna say he's a distraction. People are gonna say he has too many off the field issues that go on. The talent is definitely there, and I think he should get another chance just based off of talent alone. But with the way the league is going and everything like that, I just people are trying to eliminate distractions like that. And I think another thing that is going to factor in is that, like, people looked at like Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown was a distraction. What did Pittsburgh do? They got rid of him. You know what I'm saying? Le'Veon Bell was a distraction. Pittsburgh said, they said, screw you. Like, we're not going to give you your money. He's a distraction off the field and everything like that. It's worked out for those guys. Those guys were proven though. The difference is Dwayne Haskins isn't proven yet. So the fact that he already has this negative connotation on himself, I mean, he is still young, so he might be able to salvage it. But dude, if they bring the XFL back, he might have to, do a stint in the XFL, might have to do a stint in the CFL to really prove that, he is changed. And if that doesn't happen, then he might have played his last NFL game this past Sunday.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. For more content, please hit that notification bell, comment, subscribe, and everything like that. And just remember, keep it real.